Hi guys, welcome back to my channel ArtsyPutsy, and for today's video, this is going to be my fall makeup tutorial number 5, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I usually just do a speed through makeup tutorial, very quick, without any explanation and all of that, just full on makeup tutorial. But I also have a lot of new makeups I haven't tried out, so I figured why not just combine the two and make full makeup tutorial while I do first impressions. Most of them, if not all, yeah, I believe most of them are drugstore or affordable makeup products. So if you want to see that, then just keep on watching. So as you can see, I already applied foundation because this is going to be a full-on foundation review, wear test and all of that in separate videos because I really want to go more in depth about it. So if you want to see that, make sure to subscribe because I'm going to post the video for this foundation maybe around next week, maybe on Wednesday, I believe. And the foundation I'm wearing right now is the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop Full Coverage Foundation, but the rest of my makeup I haven't applied. I didn't put on any primer because I don't have a new primer to try out, and I also don't usually apply primer for foundation review. The rest of my makeup is pretty much first impressions, maybe except the eyebrow pencil, I believe. I don't have any new eyebrow products to try out, but the rest of them are first impressions. So next is, oh no, next is concealer, and I don't have any new concealer, so sorry for that. I didn't know that I don't have any new concealer, but yeah, I promise the rest of them are first impressions. So I'm just going to quickly apply concealer. This is the Collection Lasting Perfection Ultimate Wear Concealer in Warm Medium 3. And I'm also going to apply the Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Conceal and Contour in C6. So I'm going to apply the collection first, just for my under eye area, to kind of conceal and all of that. It looks pretty light now, but it's not going to look like this anymore because it will set down a little bit darker. And on top of that, I'm going to apply the Revolution concealer because this is a little bit too light for me, so I'm going to use this to brighten up the under eye, just a dot there, and on top of my nose, a little bit on my chin there as well, just to highlight my face, just little by little. Also drag this to my lid, so it will be our eyeshadow primer as well. So to set the under eye and basically the rest of my face as well, I'm going to try out the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder, and I have the one in 20 light medium. A lot of people rave about this, a lot of people like them, and this is one of the best setting powder, like loose setting powder from the drugstore. I pretty like the packaging even though it is pretty bulky. Why can't I have them in one go? Oh, the locking system of the cap is really nice actually. Like you only have to turn them once, take them out, and put them back in, and turn them once. It's pretty easy and secure. Wait. Whoa. I have them too much on, yeah. I spilled half of the tube there on the cap. What? Oh, I'm just going to quickly set my under eye, and basically wherever I put on the concealer with a damp beauty blender, because I just like the way the powder applies with damp beauty blender to set concealer. I feel like they will lock in the concealer a little bit better, especially if you have oily skin. Yeah, I feel like the color, it doesn't brighten up my under eye area because it's pretty much my skin tone. Then I'm going to set the rest of my face with a large powder brush with the same powder. I feel like because it has some color to it, it does kind of give the skin a little bit more coverage. And it looks pretty smooth and pretty soft. And it doesn't make my face look drier than it already was. I mean, I have very oily skin, but the foundation that I have is very matte. Yeah, I like them. So far, I like them. So for bronzer, this is the only thing I believe I have that is not drugstore product. This is from Too Faced, the Chocolate Soleil matte bronzer. The Chocolate Soleil bronzer right here. And this is pretty affordable for me because this is the old packaging. I just bought them a few months ago and I haven't tried them on. It's still very brand new. I bought the old packaging, so it was on sale, maybe 50% off or maybe even more than 50% off because they don't have this anymore. They already changed the packaging. They have a brand new packaging that nicer than this, not as good looking as the new one, but has a lot more products in it, even though the original price of this is pretty much the same as the new one. But yeah, I bought them when it was on sale, so it's pretty much, I believe it was around the same price with the Physician formula, the butter bronzer. So technically this is still pretty affordable. When I bought them, I don't know if they still have them, but if I can still find them on sale somewhere, I will definitely leave a link down below. But if not, if you can still get them, go get them because I've heard nothing but great things about this bronzer. So if you have a chance, get them, or maybe just bought the new one. But I believe the new one is a little bit different formula than this. They are not as matte, but I don't know, I don't have the new one, so I cannot really compare them. But yeah, I'm just going to stop rambling and try them on with this. Yeah, it smells amazing. This is the first Too Faced product I have and this smells heavenly. Yeah, the color shows up really nicely there. I was a little bit afraid that it's not going to be like shows up all that well on my skin, but it actually shows up really nicely. Yeah, I really like the color as well. They're not very warm, they're not orangey, they're not too ashy, they're not too cool tone. I feel like it gives a pretty nice shadow to my face, and it's not too pigmented, but it's not too sheer either. It has the right amount of pigmentation, very easy to blend. Yeah, it's built up really nicely as well. I freaking love this, especially for the suns. Yeah, I really love this, and it has a really nice mirror as well. And the blush I'm going to put on my face today is the Burt what? It's the Burt Beige blush, the Toasted Cinnamon. I already shown you this in my recent haul video. I bought this because of Kathleen Lights. If you watch her, you'll know that this is her favorite blush at the moment, maybe even ever. But yeah, this is just a really warm, kind of bronzy blush. This is like a brownie blush with a little bit of warmth and oranginess to it, so it will be like perfect for blush and bronzer all at once. It definitely gives some color to my face and give my cheek a little bit more life to it because it's not a completely matte blush. It has a little bit of like sheen to it. Don't know if you can see that. Like right there, it has a little bit of glow to it, gives my cheeks a little bit more life, especially since the foundation I put on today is very like a dead matte foundation. I really like the glow and the formula. It's very easy to blend. It looks like a blush or bronzer topper for me. So for highlighter, this is the Colourpop Super Shock Cheek in Flexitarian in pearlized finish. It came in broken, but it's very easy to fix. Yeah, it doesn't look great. I'm quite sad about this, but it's okay, I can still use them. And yeah, I really like Colourpop Super Shock highlighter. It's a little bit trickier to apply, but once you get the hang of it, it looks really nice on top of your cheek. You just have to apply this with your finger. I feel like that's the better way to use this. So I mean, this one right here, it's very blinding. This is one of the most favorite highlight from Colourpop. This is the one a lot of people raved about. I don't know, it's very silvery. I don't know if it's going to be maybe it will be too light for my skin, but especially with the bronzer and the foundation I currently have right now, I'm quite nervous, but let's see. And this is the way I like to apply the Super Shock highlight. Apply them with, whoa, that's way too white. Apply them with a swiping motion. Also tap them in and use a circular motion to further blind them. To further blend them, but it's also very blinding. I don't know if you can tell, but if you apply them with a circular motion, it will just melt the product into your skin even better, and I don't know, it will melt the product into your skin and make them look like your skin but wet. But this is way too wet and way too white for me. I mean, damn. I mean, you can still see, even when I look to the front, you can still see this a little bit too white right there. If you like a blending highlight, this is your guy. This is extra blinding. But if you want to make them even more blinding, tap them some more and apply them with a tapping motion in this area, like the tip of your cheekbone. But dang, that's very blinding. This is crazy. Okay, and I'm not even applying too much. I just rub my finger a little bit in here and but I feel like it doesn't really emphasizing my texture. I mean, obviously if you have a lot of textures, highlight will emphasize them no matter what, but there are some highlight that will make them look worse, but this doesn't do that. I feel like it's very smooth in my opinion. But so I'm just going to trying to run this on top of the highlight and melt them in a little bit more. I feel like that definitely toned down the highlighter a little bit. Yeah, I think that is fine now. But enough of the highlight. I'm going to apply eyeshadow now. I have a couple of shadow I really want to try out for today's video. I have the Colourpop Make Up Your Mind eyeshadow palette, this one right here. I got this for free when I bought the entire no filter line from Colourpop when they first launched. They have like a promo and I got this for free. I have swatched them and they look insanely gorgeous, and yeah, it's full of shimmer shadows. And that was a hand-picked eyeshadow palette by the fans. And I also going to try out the Colourpop Jelly Matte Shadow. I don't know which one I'm going to try, but I really want to try out the Half Moon. So I think I'm going to use the Half Moon, or maybe even Ventura or Bungalow, I don't know. But since every single Colourpop shadow I want to try in this video is either shimmer or metallic, I'm going to try out these as well. This is the Wet n Wild Color Icon 12 pen 10. Oh no, it's 10. Sorry, try that again. The Wet n Wild 10 pen Color Icon eyeshadow palette in Not a Basic Peach. So I'm going to use some of the matte in here. Really don't know which one I'm going to use, but Okay, I figure I'm just going to apply this orange right here as my transition shade. This shadow is a little bit powdery and have quite a lot of kick up on the pen, but that never really bothers me. And wow, that blend out really nicely. And it has a really nice pigmentation as well. And then I'm going to deepen up the crease a little bit more with the actual shadow right here. It's labeled as a transition shade, and I don't have a lot of clean brush, but I'm just going to use this brush, clean them a little bit. Oh, this one doesn't have a lot of kick up, not as much as the orange at least. Oh, I like this eyeshadow, they blend really easily. I'm going back in with the first shadow, the orange one, with the previous brush, just to further blend out the edges. I'm going to deepen up the outer corner of the eye with this brown right here. Wow, that is pretty pigmented. I'm not going to blend them into the inner part of the lid or the crease. I'm going to focus this on the outer corner of the eyes, tap them in, and then slightly blend them into the crease, but stops right around like the middle of the crease. So go back in with this brush with no additional product and just blend the crease a little bit more. Okay, that's enough for now for the palette. I don't know what I'm going to do next, but I think I'm going to apply this one here first. This is called Inside Out, all over the lid, I think. Okay, yeah, this is just like any other shimmer shadow from Colourpop. They showed up really nicely on the eyes even with just a dry brush. Also kind of overlapping this to the outer part of the eyes. I'm not going to wet this because I'm going to put the jelly matte shadow on top of this, just because I don't know, I just want to use this as like a base for the jelly matte shadow because the color is quite similar in my opinion, but the half moon is a lot lighter and this one is a little bit darker, and I want to make this a little bit deeper. Take this brush again and blend the crease and the edges. Then for the fun part, I'm going to apply the jelly matte shadow in Half Moon. And by the way, don't lose the lid here because it's very important to keep the lid on. It will dry out quite fast, I believe, if you don't keep them closed. It feels cold. It does feel kind of wet. I'm not going fully to the edges of the eye, just stop right around there. I'm going to blend the edges again because I know once it sets down it will be very hard to blend the crease and blend them. Oh, it actually blends really nicely and quite easy in my opinion if it's still pretty wet. Okay, yeah, I'm in love with this formula. I love them. It's very easy to blend as well, as long as you blend them as soon as you apply them before it sets down. It's very easy to blend, and yeah, I like them. I'm going to see how they looks with my finger. And this is so smooth. I mean, I don't know if you can tell, this is not blended and this is blended. It's quite easy to blend. Okay, now I'm going back in with this palette and re-intensify the brown because it got lost. I love it. The half moon looks gorgeous and it's a duochrome shadow. It has a really pretty purpley and bluish greenish kind of reflect to it. It's honestly gorgeous. I love it. I'm just going to apply the orange from this palette and blend this all over my lower lash line. Then I'm going to deepen up the edges there with the brown from this palette, this one. Oh, that's very pigmented. So I think I'm going to apply Bungalow for the lower lash line. So I apply them very tightly, like very tightly to my lower lashes there. You know what, I'm actually going to apply the purple, maybe like on the outer part of the eye. For the inner corner, I'm going to apply Ventura. And to highlight brow bone, I'm going to use this shade right here, I think. I don't know if that's going to look great, but yeah, let's just try. Okay, so that's it for the eyes. I really like it, but I'm just going to fill in my eyebrow first with this e.l.f. This is not new, this is the e.l.f. Instant Lift Brow Pencil, I believe, in deep brown. And I'm going to be back to apply my mascara and lipstick. So that's it for my brows. I don't know, I think they look completely different from one another, but that's just the way it is. For mascara, I'm going to try out the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise Mascara. This is highly raved about. A lot of people love them. This is one of the best mascara from the drugstore. I bought them in black as black. This is the waterproof version. A lot of people said this is also a dupe for the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, I believe. And the one looks like this. It's pretty thick. Okay, so that's one coat of mascara. It curls my lashes really nicely. It's quite lengthening. It's not very volumizing yet, but we'll see with the second coat. So this is the final look. For the lipstick, I applied the Colourpop Ultra Matte Lip in Mama. I feel like it might be a little bit too bold, and you know, but I quite like this because we have some oranginess on the crease, and yeah. So before we finish up the video, I'm just going to quickly, go back, retrace, and give you another, my final thoughts about everything I tried in this video. This powder, I really like this. I have to try this with another foundation to really be able to tell how the powder works, because the foundation I have going on right now is super dry, but it doesn't dry out my skin even more. It looks very smooth. It gives a little bit more extra coverage to the foundation. So far I really like this. I also really like the bronzer. It's very easy to blend. The color matches me really nicely. It's not too warm, not too cool tone. It smells heavenly. It smells amazing. The blush, even though I cannot really tell the color on my cheek right now because pretty close to my skin tone, but I actually really like the effect it gives my cheek. It looks very, you know, healthy. It gives my skin a healthy glow. It's not shimmery whatsoever. It's just a really nice glowing blush. Yeah, I really like it. The highlight, I love the formula. It looks very wet on the cheek. It blends and melts nicely into the skin. It doesn't emphasize textures in a weird way. It's very blinding. If you like a blinding highlight, this will be the answer for you, but the only thing is it's a little bit too light for my skin tone. It's very silvery and white-ish, but at the same time it looks very pretty on the cheek. I don't know if I'm going to be able to wear this all by itself on daily basis, but if I put on a full coverage foundation and looking, you know, with the eye and lips like this, I feel like it looks really nice, but it's just not for day-to-day basis in my opinion, at least for me, because it's a little bit too intense and too light and too silvery. But other than that, love this. This eyeshadow palette, I really do think it's worth every single penny. I cannot believe this is very affordable. I believe it was only $4 or $6 for 10 pen eyeshadow palette. That is such a steal, and since the formula as well is very great. I only tried the mattes, and all the mattes that I've tried so far blends heavenly. It's very easy to blend. It's quite pigmented and the color is quite true to how it looks on the pen as well. They are not patchy whatsoever. The shimmer that I've tried from this pen so far is only the lightest shade right here. I used them to highlight my brow bone, and I feel like that shows up really nicely as well. I don't know if they look amazing for all over the lid because I haven't tried them, but I don't know, based on swatching them, I think they might perform really nicely on the lid as well. This palette is such a fun palette in my opinion. You got so many different colors, cool tone, silver, yellow, very warm tone, this gorgeous shade right here. The purple is also amazing, and it's very small and compact. This is such a great companion for any of your matte eyeshadow palette, and I feel like this is a really fun palette to have, and the quality of this, every single shade in here are amazing, just like any other shimmer shadow from Colourpop. They shows up nicely on the lid even with the dry brush. Yeah, I highly recommend them. Packaging looks amazing as well. The Colourpop Jelly Matte Shadows though, this is definitely my favorite product I've tried in this video. I freaking love them. They are an actual jelly formula. When you apply them, it feels kind of wet and cold. Very pigmented with just one swipe. You don't need much. You only need a little amount of product, and you can use your brush or your finger. These perform really nicely with both application. It's very metallic, and they are very smooth. They coat your lid in a nice even way. They dry down completely, and once it dries down, they don't feel hard and, you know, crumbly or whatever. Like, it just stays on smooth on the lid. I've swatched them on my hands before, and when it dries down, it doesn't really smudge or crumbling or whatever, so I feel like it is pretty long wearing and quite smudge proof. You get quite a lot of product in here. It will last for a very long time as long as it doesn't dry down, because like I said, you only need a little and it already looks great. And if you don't like the Supernova shadow, this is definitely your answer, because it will give you that metallicness to your lid, it will amp up your look, but it's a lot smoother, a lot softer, and a lot more even. You know, it's a lot easier to apply as well. I absolutely love them, and I will highly recommend, especially this one in Half Moon and Ventura look amazing for inner corner as well, but Half Moon is amazing. By the way, the lipstick is not new. This is not brand new. I have tried this. I freaking love the color. And the mascara, first coat, I wasn't really impressed by it. It looks pretty okay, but then the second coat, that's when the magic starts to happen. It curls my lash really nicely. It's not very lengthening, but it will lengthen your lashes. It's not too much, it's just the right amount of length. It will give your lashes a little bit of volume. It's quite volumizing. It's also separate your lashes really nicely, and it makes your lashes look, it's quite volumizing, but at the same time not clumpy whatsoever. So if you don't like a clumpy mascara, then this is the guy. I also really like the one because it grips your lashes really nicely. It really has a nice grip to it, and it's also not a messy one. I just have a really short lower lash line and very sparse, very easy to make a lot of mess in my lower lash line, but with this one it's not messy whatsoever, even though the one is quite big, but because it has a nice grip to it, maybe because of that, it's just not messy. And the formula itself is not very thick and not very runny or liquidy as well. I feel like when it dries down a little bit more, it will be even better, but as of now I really love this. So far, every single thing that I've tried in this video, I freaking love them. There's not one product that I was like, you know, every single thing I do really enjoy. Some I like more than the others, but overall I highly recommend every single product that I've tried in this video, and I'm very happy because this is a huge success. So that's it. That's my first impression. It's not a full face, but you know, almost a full face of first impression. I freaking love the result. I feel like this is very fall and dramatic as well. I don't know, it's quite dramatic, but I freaking love the results. I hope you enjoy this video as much as I do creating them, as I love the results. I love the products that I've tried. And if you do like this video, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and also subscribe to my channel. The subscribe button is right down below, so you won't miss out on any other first impression, review, tutorial, and all of that. And lastly, I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I hope I can see you in my next video. Bye guys. Yeah, this is very intense, so I messed up a little bit as always, but it also at this, and it's